Hello everybody, it is RidlyGT here with another Heroes of the Storm video. Today we're taking a look at Falstad. Falstad is a ranged assassin that has a couple of very unique traits that we're going to take a look at today, but first let us start with his abilities. Unlike most videos, these abilities are going to be out of order. However, his first ability is hammering. It throws a hammer out, very surprisingly, much like a boomerang. His third ability is called barrel roll. It allows Falstad to, yes, barrel roll in the direction that you click. The important feature of barrel roll is that it allows you to traverse walls and terrain. Now, although this can be very helpful in getting away or engaging in fights, this specific example is a horrible way to use barrel roll. Now, Falstad's second ability is called lightning rod. This creates a circle around you, and as long as the target that you click on stays within that circle, it will continue to do damage. Now, these three abilities for Falstad allow you to be a very diverse assassin. You're not dependent upon stealth. You generally end up being more of a right-clicker. You sit there, you right-click, people die. That's generally the gist of how he functions. In terms of positioning with this hero, staying as far away from people as possible is usually your best option. Now, Falstad doesn't actually have a mount. I mean, a dwarf on a griffin, it would not make a whole lot of sense for him to be on top of a mount. What he does have is an ability called taking flight. About every 40 seconds, it allows you to traverse about half of the map in one fell swoop. Falstad's first heroic ability is called Mighty Gust. Now, this allows you to push enemy heroes in a direction that you choose. Now, although on paper this looks very good to take flight on the other side of the enemy team and push them into your team, it is simply too risky the large majority of the time. Putting yourself behind 5 members of the enemy team doesn't always work out this well. Falstad's second heroic ability is called Hinterland Blast. Now, this is an ability that would make Thor proud. After a short duration, he channels a massive amount of lightning towards whatever direction that you choose. Now, the range of this is very long, and it does do a lot of damage. It also pairs with Overdrive, which we'll take a look at a bit later. Now, we're going to take a look at Falstad's talents. Now, this build for Falstad is something that I use in my quick match games. It's a ton of fun, it gives you a lot of burst, and it's a lot more forgiving than a lot more of the professional builds. For the tier 1, you're going to take power throw. It's going to increase the range of your hammering, as well as the amount of slow on enemy heroes. Now, taking a look at the tier 4 talents, there's really only 2 that stand out that should ever be picked up. One is Gathering Power, which for newer players isn't necessarily the best choice because it relies on you staying alive as long as possible. So my recommendation is going to be for Flow Rider, which is the best named talent for Falstad. It reduces the cooldown of your barrel roll. Now, there are 2 big talents in this tier. One's First Aid, which for many professional and right-click builds is going to be your best choice. However, this build revolves around this one talent, Secret Weapon. It allows your auto attacks to do 80% more damage whenever your hammering is out, giving Falstad the burst that he needs for this build to work. You, of course, now have your 2 choices for heroic abilities. Now, as cool as Mighty Gust might have looked, being able to fly in behind the enemies and push you towards you, Hinterland Blast is just going to be the better choice. It is reliable, it is always good for great damage, and it's also going to pair with another ability that we're going to talk about in just 1 second. For tier 13 talents, you have 2 main choices for this tier, and it's going to depend on the enemy team's composition. If they're sitting with a lot of warriors, if there's an ETC, an Arthas, or 1 or 2 big guys, you're going to want to go with Giant Killer. But if not, I'm going to recommend you go with Static Shield. Every time your W is going to hit on a target, you're going to gain a shield for 5% of your health. Now, at your tier 16 talents, the way that we've built Falstad so far is a very specific, very bursty type build, and we're not going to stop now. For your tier 16, you're definitely going to take Overdrive. Now, Overdrive, at the cost of extra mana, is going to make all of your abilities do about 25% more damage. To maintain this whole Falstad burst build, this is absolutely crucial to pair with Hinterland Blast. Now, Falstad has some of the most unique storm talents, at least I think that they are. You have the Call of the Wild Hammer, which increases the range and damage of your Hinterland Blast, and it is absolutely massive when you pick that up. You also have Epic Mount, which greatly reduces the cooldown and cast time of your Take Flight ability. However, for this build, I'm recommending Nexus Frenzy, increase the attack speed, increase your range, be able to get more hits in with your crits, and be able to right-click as hard as you possibly can. That's it for me. I'm RidlyGT from Drunken Rhino Gaming. Please don't forget to check out my other videos. Click on Falstad to subscribe.